I can't believe I haven't found anything yet. There have been thousands of makers before me. You'd think one of them would have fiddled around with the soul before.
It feels like everyone and everything around me remembers where they've come from better than I do. But the only memory I'm concerned about is that of the storms. Where do they come from? And where do they go?
Honestly, I'm trying to make more friends. Some I can only hear. But they'll be here soon enough. After all, that's what summoning's for, isn't it? I'd love it if you could be my friend too.
The thing is, I can't help but wonder. Without all of those pieces, even just one or two, who would you become? And the people for whom those pieces are gone, who have lost the parts of themselves that magic has decreed one small piece of a whole, what happens to them?
Hello, everybody. We are back. Sorry for the 2-week hiatus, but yes, we are back with Fraying Threads Session 3, an Invisible Sun campaign using the Invisible Sun system by Monty Cook Games. I'm Mare. I use they, she pronouns, and I am your game master. Before we get started with the game, everyone's going to go around, say, hey, who you're playing, who you are, who you're playing, your character sentence, and if you would like to mention what you did during downtime, only if you want to, that would be great. We'll start with Gena.
Hi, I'm Gena. I am playing Sophrona, an established ardent of the Order of the Vance who is adored by the sea. She, her, for both myself and Sophrona. Mostly what we did during downtime, well, some of that will show up, but also mostly, importantly, got rid of my shovel. Most important thing.
That is the most important thing.
It's most important to me and to Sophrona. We don't want this shovel.
Very, very cursed shovel. What kind of curse? We don't know. Victor.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Victor. I play Ray. We both use they and he pronouns. Ray is a bizarre ardent of the Order of Goetica who disgorges creatures. And during my downtime, I sculpted a lot for my upcoming art show for my sculptures. And I also totally just, got in tune with my dreams. And that's totally not a bad thing. I'm sure.
Very peaceful. Very, very peaceful. Gilly.
Hello. I am Gilly. Oh, look, it's Gilly on the interwebs. And I am playing Lace. I use she, her pronouns. Lace uses she, they pronouns. I am an ardent weaver. I am a bizarre ardent of the Order of Weavers who splinters into fragments. But I do think I should get credit for having memorized 3 of those. 3/4 is not bad, I'm just saying. Over the downtime, I did some plant research, which we will, I guess, get to very shortly. And also hung out with my cat, Shard. Was a little nervous that the shovel was going to come for me in the end, but the shovel has not so far, I believe, appeared.
Everyone will get it at one point throughout this campaign.
No.
Yes.
I refuse. I'm chilling with my cat and his arch enemy who lives in the walls.
He's more of a visitor. He comes by every once in a while to visit the mice in your walls. He actually lives with another friend of his, but he comes says hi to some family.
But maybe he was threatening to move in because it annoys Shard.
No, Samuel's a very sweet, nice baby. Shard just hates him.
Yeah. Well, Shard is a complicated cat.
Shard's a very complicated cat. If you would like to know who this is, go see my very first Invisible Sun game. Samuel, the rat, a nice baby. And last but not least, we have Kian, who is also going to do the game. Wait, no, not you. Victor, you're going to do it. Then Kian. Sorry, we'll go back around. Kian, please introduce yourself.
Hello. My name is Kian. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. And today I am playing Aspen, who is a connected gallant of the Order of Makers who walks with a secret companion. Aspen uses he, they pronouns. During downtime, Aspen did a little bit of making. We made our first new, magical item, so that will definitely come up later on in today's session. I also spent a little bit of time with Sophrona. We did some research that we'll have to share with the rest of the group. And then I got to hang out with Helia, my secret companion, who is made up of vines and has a sunflower for a head, and has been really affected by our little adventure right at the end of the last session that Vic is going to tell us about. But those were the big things for Aspen.
Thank you. Victor.
All right, folks. So it's been a little while, so I'm glad to get you up to speed. Our second session started right where our first session ended, in which we all got to react to the strange storm. Sophrona learned a little bit about what the storm might look like and where to look next, as well as get it, all of the rest of our reactions. Some of us being like, "Oh, how neat," and others like Aspen being very concerned about what it meant for their friend Helia. From there, Sophrona did learn that she was a victim of the shovel, and it was now in her home, while Ray was dreaming and sort of got to see face to face the friend that he's been talking to for so long, the songbird. From there, we went ahead and went to the nursery plant shop. What is it? What's a plant
Botanical
shop?
Spiral. Plant shop and nursery.
The botanical spiral, and one more time, the last bit.
Plant shop and nursery.
Plant shop and nursery. See, so it is just plant shop. It doesn't have a fancy name. Got it.
Botanical spiral is the fancy part.
Yes, but I thought there was like a word for plant shop, like how like a bread shop is a bakery.
Oh, I see.
Like, sorry for the tangent. ADHD brain gone. There we met with a character who was really cool, whose name I have forgotten.
Alana and Drosera.
Alana and Drosera. Alana was busy taking care of the store. When we had gone to sort of meet Drosera, Drosera had been in the back. So Alana, after talking to Alana, she said that she would go and get Drosera for us. And then, we were just vibing, taking care of the store. And unfortunately, our lovely friend named Helia sort of got drawn to go towards the back of the store. And then when she didn't return, Aspen marched their way to the back of the store. And Ray's like, "Oh no, I need to protect my small, weak friend." And followed as well. Where we found, after following a trail that Aspen was leaving behind, Sophrona and Lace also followed us, where we found Drosera and Alana in trouble and about to be eaten by the back of the botanical spiral, and we all raced to the end, where Ray helped Alana and Drosera sort of get out while the rest of us did crazy stuff to keep the store from eating us, like making it go in on itself.
Ouroboros.
Yeah, Ouroboros. That was Lace doing that. That was pretty cool. Lace got to do a lot of magic. Aspen saved us from being lost because of their very intelligent use of their ciphers. It's not a
Ephemera.
cipher. Ephemera.
It's the same thing. It's the same equivalent. One-time use magic items.
Yep.
Same thing. It's fine.
Yeah. Afterwards, with Dracera having to unfortunately regrow a limb, we said that we would meet shortly, and I do want to shout out Shard for having completed several transactions by themselves. At the front of the store.
Shard savvy.
Yes.
And I think one of the other things you forgot to mention is you drew a summoning circle on your tummy.
Yes, I did draw a summoning circle on my tummy and then summoned a weird bundle of feathers, like an angry bundle of feathers, and gave it a statue with some crystal orbs in it.
Yup. It was beautiful.
It was gorgeous. I love it.
All right. Before we get started, I just want to quickly say that Invisible Sun, at its core, can have very adult themes. Please be advised, the content warnings for our game specifically include manipulation and mild body horror. Please take a step away if you need to. Your health and safety is important. And if you would like to and tip us, we have a little pally tip thing, which I just put in chat for y'all, if you'd like to support us. All right. Are we ready for the first card pool of the game? On the Silver Sun, I have pulled the Savage Sword. Value 3, Vision, Swans, Blades, and Water. Meanings: war, savagery, strength, violence, and brute force. The sword is a weapon of war, a metaphor for any kind of weapon one might wield. The Savage Sword is our basest nature, our predilection towards violence, and our shameful bloodlust. But it also is our strength to overcome obstacles and foes when we need to. It is the opposite of thought, strategy, or consideration. It is immediate and decisive, without hesitation or regard for consequences. The Savage Sword is the opposite of the revealing knife in most aspects. Red magic is enhanced and blue is hindered. We start off the game with Aspen. Aspen, you are standing in front of a very prominent house of a friend of yours. It is a mansion. There's nothing odd about it except for its size. It spans up 4 stories. It is on a sprawling green grounds with winding pathways, with homemade statues and contraptions made out of gears, and a lot of making ingredients that you're familiar with, such as eyelashes of babies, sometimes human flesh, diamond hearts. You are at the home of your friend, William Belland, and his huge double doors stand in front of you, large and imposing, and there's one little thread of rope next to the thing which you know is connected to a doorbell.
I go up and I grab the rope and pull it, and at the same time, I am shouting, William, my dear friend, come and greet me at the door.
A loud cawing can be heard throughout the entire mansion as you ring this doorbell, and it goes and it echoes. And you know you're going to be waiting here for at least a little bit. William does not have any thought forms assisting him or taking care of his property. He is a one-man army, and he moves very slow. Helia is at your side, always distracted by something shiny. Right now, she's just looking at this huge hedge in the shape of a elephant, as if it were made out of tubes and gears. And 5-7 minutes later, the door opens slowly, where you see William. He used to be a tall man, but now he is hunched over with age. His face is completely wrinkled and there's pop marks on his skin. The barest wisp of gray-white hair is on the sides of his head and on the top. And he is wearing very comfortable pajamas and is leaning on a walker. He is a 5th degree maker, as you know, and a friend of yours. Aspen, so nice to see you.
William, my dear, looking lovely as always.
Oh, pish posh.
Did I bother you for a few minutes of your time?
You can borrow as many minutes as I have left.
Hopefully that is an innumerable amount. And I'm going to hold out my arm and start walking inside, sort of like helping to guide the walker as well.
He kind of like just, as always, this happens like every time you polite individual, he like waves you in as he shuts the door behind you. The path has changed recently, so just stick close and don't stray.
I will do my best, and I'm going to look toward Helia and sort of repeat, I will not stray as I follow him.
He begins walking, not in the middle of the hallway, of these broad hallways and you see art on the walls, you see inventions strewn all over the place, as well. And do you want to make a perception check?
I absolutely will.
Okay, cool.
Let me get to my stats page. I will not be using a Bene for this.
Okay, sure.
Oh no. I pulled all of my D6s because I've been rolling D6s in all my other games.
Nope, D10s.
That's a 3.
Yeah, you don't notice anything and you can't see anything. Because William Belland is very good at his craft. But you know, even though you can't see them, there are traps littered everywhere in his house.
I am like tiptoeing in this, like absolutely following William's steps. But you definitely see Aspen like kind of pause and look as though like, I could try it. I could just like step one toe and starts to lift their foot and then gets back in line and keeps following William.
Many of your miscellaneous conversations have included what trespassers he's caught that week.
I hope that things have been as eventful as you would prefer over these last couple of weeks, William.
Very quiet, very quiet. I've been seeing some I've been training some of the journeymen in the order. And as he's talking, he is leading you through and eventually brings you to, instead of like a living room or his office or his workroom, he brings you to the kitchen and almost immediately begins putting on hot water for tea. And he motions over to the table where you see like a tin of cookies. Help yourself while I put on some hot water for tea.
You're such a dear, and I am immediately going to open it up and just, not even looking, eat whatever's inside. Hope it's not poison, it's not going to kill me.
They are a combination of sea salt caramel that reminds you of a day at the beach. Like you feel the breeze on your face.
William, would you be willing to share with me the recipe for these? I have a friend who I think would absolutely love to try them.
Those were actually a gift, but I can ask if the baker is willing to share.
Much appreciated. Could I take maybe one or two in a little napkin?
Of course.
Thank you, dear. And I will sort of tie some off and set them aside.
And a couple minutes go by as you two are just basking in each other's company. Small talk before he brings out 2 mugs with tea brewing in them and sits down at the table with you. What honor do I have today to see your lovely face here?
You're too kind. I recently came into some information that I'm trying to follow along and do a bit of research, but as I'm sure you understand, some of it is quite personal and would prefer not to cast the net too wide and rely on people that I already know.
I can definitely try my best. Maybe my brains will be put to some use.
I came across a material recently that I have not been able to identify and heard about it more than actually handled it, saw it, experienced it myself.
Okay.
A bright green material, and it felt alive in a way, not like a plant, more like a human or something with thoughts. Have you heard of anything like this before?
Do you know where it is? Like, what purpose it holds? What kind of material? Like, physical material it is? Like, does it have, like, a texture? Where it's from?
I will. How exciting. I didn't think I was going to get to use it so early. I am going to pull out the item that I made that I have named Memories Memento.
Okay.
And so it is this sort of like little glass trinket, and it's kind of shaped like a flame, and it's hollow on the inside. And I would like to use it to create the full sensory illusion of this material that I saw so that William can look at it directly.
And it's almost exactly how your vision was when you ate the cotton candy. And there is the image of your hands around this material that glows and pulses, and just like on the edges of this vision, like leading outwards. How big is it again? What size illusion?
Handheld, I believe. Yes, handheld object.
Okay, so probably this large, size of maybe like a large grapefruit. There is the image of greenery and warmth. And he looks at it. Sorry. I was looking at his level and looking for something, but I think he is high enough level to know this without me having to pull a card. And as he's looking at this, and just his brows furrow and his face just gets even more wrinklier as he's staring at this, and his eyes just immediately go wide in like surprise and excitement. Did you handle this? Is this your body? Also, this is a very good object, by the way. Also, roll for depletion.
Oh God, it's a 2.
What is the roll?
Depletion is 0 to 2.
You got 1 use out of your magic item.
That's okay.
It's fine.
Thank you for the compliment, William. I haven't personally handled it. This came to me in a vision. But I plan to handle it sometime soon, and so that is why I'm looking for more information.
I can't tell exactly what this is without seeing it for myself, but I have a hunch on what this might be. And when I say a hunch, I mean I'm like probably like 97% sure.
Wow.
I think what you are holding in this vision is the heart of a world. Very powerful, can be used in making. It's a power source. Or at least that's what it's mostly used for.
Are there any records of anybody who has made something with this before?
I'm going to pull a card for this.
Okay.
I have pulled the Watcher. That is a value of 9. The Sovereign. And let me just look for it on my thing. The frickety frick frack is the Sovereign card. RSD. Oh, it's the Watcher. Duh. Sorry, I'm all over the place tonight. Okay. Mysteries, rats, mirrors, and stone, parental figures, sight, alertness, observation, and knowledge. And he's like, yes. An old friend of mine used one, I would say, like, shortly after he came back from the war. He made something really magnificent and beautiful.
Would you be willing to share this friend's name?
Yes. Hold on. His name is Times and Roman. Sorry.
Times and Roman?
N. Times and Roman.
Delightful.
Me pulling randomly off my names list.
Is this somebody who lives still here in Fartown, or?
I use the term here very loosely.
Okay.
He died, but he's not in the Pale yet, if you know what I mean.
I do understand.
He comes and he goes.
Hopefully, if you happen to come across him, and he's so inclined, if you'd like to send him over to the false arch where I live, I might have a few questions, but I don't want to inconvenience him by any means.
Occasionally we talk over tea. I have tea, he doesn't. And if he comes by, I will mention it to him.
Thank you, dear.
Now, may I be a little nosy?
Please.
Why are you looking for this? This is, no offense, it's still a little outside of your skill level. This type of item. So what's your interest?
I appreciate you asking about that. And Aspen kind of, I sit back and put my hands below the table, and I'm kind of like fiddling with my nails, kind of like peeling at them, feeling a little bit anxious. There's something I need to make that I would need a power source like this to give it life in a way that not many power sources could.
He just sips at his tea and looks at you curiously, kind of waiting for you to go on if you're so inclined, but not being rude and pushing about it.
I trust you, William, to keep this between us with the utmost confidentiality.
Take it to my grave.
I lost a dear friend of mine, and I'm trying to bring them back.
If you're trying to bring them back, why not just find one of the several magical spells to bring someone back from the Pale? Why go so far to make something?
Unfortunately, that is not an option in this case. They are not in the Pale. They are not from here. I met them in Shadow. And they are not from Saturnine. They're not from Indigo. And I would still like to bring them back.
He slowly nods, understanding your conundrum. I see. I do wish you the best of luck. That is a very hard make.
I have my fears and hopefully a few leads that will help produce this. But again, I have not told anyone about this. I don't want to draw any attention and any unwanted questions. So, but if it's all right with you, I would love to continue to speak about this if you have any thoughts or ideas. And if you prefer to have a certain level of plausible deniability, I respect that as well.
I would love to continue talking about this. I'll see what I can find on my end. See if I can find times if he comes by. And I'll see what I can do. You've been a good friend, and friends help each other.
Thank you, dear. One other question that is completely off of this line of thinking. Have you ever heard the term songbird before?
In, like, a bird that sings?
Something unseen. Something, a friend of sorts. It's a word that I heard a dear companion of mine mention, and
I can't say that I have, except for birds singing their song on a lovely spring day.
That's quite all right. Thank you, dear. I won't hold you hostage for too much longer.
As if you could hold me hostage.
That is a very good point. I would absolutely not be able to. If it's all right with you, I would love to sit and just sort of tell you a little bit about this friend that I lost. I haven't been able to talk about them in quite a long time.
Of course. Would you like another cup of tea?
That would be lovely. And as William is getting me that, I would start to tell stories about Brady. and our travels. We got to travel a lot when we were in Shadow, and I have my passport. That is actually the memento that I kept, but I don't know how it would have changed here.
It wouldn't. It wouldn't have changed at all.
Okay. So I would pull it out and show the entry stamps to the different countries that we'd been to, and kind of just talk about Brady and how they were a very good friend of mine, their passion for biking, and all the places that we had traveled to. I would not go into detail about Brady's end of life.
Sure. And you have a lovely rest of the afternoon talking with William.
Excellent.
And we'll move on to the next scene, if that is good with everyone else. On the Blue Sun, I've pulled the Misunderstood Beast. It is a value of 0. Notions, cats, clocks, and wind. Meanings, mistakes, gentleness, friendship, danger, and betrayal. The Misunderstood Beast is a gentle giant, not a murderous monster. It seeks our friendship, not our flesh. Can we see past its physical nature and ascertain its truth? Will we even try? Snap judgments can result in horrific mistakes. We judge something by its appearance, or simply by the initial reaction it churns in our heart. But the real truth of a thing can rarely be ascertained so quickly. This misstep can catch us from either direction. We might judge something ugly as evil when it's not, or we might assume someone pleasant is a friend when they are not. Either way, we are harmed or at least lessened as a result. Green magic is enhanced and pale is hindered. Lace, tell us a bit about your home as you are waking up for whenever your day starts.
I think that, you know, those moody photos of people where it's like everything is sort of feels dark within a room because of the shade of the walls, but there is like bright light outside which kind of diffuses in. So
Gives
you
really
can
big
see
liminal space vibes.
Yeah. Because I think there is light within, like, she doesn't live in like a cave of darkness, but there is a sense that the light is diffusing from outside, and then there are kind of small lamps on the walls rather than it being brightly lit. And the stone, it's very finely carved. I should say, for those who have not heard this already, that Lace lives in the cliff, basically. And her home is dark, but it feels very modern, I guess, in the sense of like everything is kind of polished. The walls are very like carved finely, for the most part. It is a floor that is natural stone. And I think she wakes up and Shard is kind of unconscious, like spread in like Max Kitty, like
out cold. Out fucking cold.
Shard was out till late last night, for reasons, and
Aspen, they were playing poker at your house with Osmond.
And rolled in in the early hours of the morning, and Lace was, I think, already asleep at that point. It was just like, good kitty, and then it went back to bed. And I think that the aesthetic of her bedroom is like very grays and whites. So it's almost like, I don't think it's very colorful, but I think she herself is fairly colorful in what she wears, so it kind of like balances out a little bit in my brain. Especially because she wears a lot of jewel tones.
The sun like glitters through your window and like bounces off some of the more glassy parts of your body, creating a kaleidoscope of color on the wall.
Yeah, and I think that this is something I've sort of decided without any basis on behalf of shatters into glass. But I think the places where her skin looks more shattered vary from day to day. Like today it's on her shoulder. There's like a spiderweb crack that just goes up her neck. And it looks like when a really heavy I've had a really heavy rock hit my windshield, and it just like almost looks like it's pushed in, and the spiderweb crack is just extensive. And I think that's in her shoulder today, and she kind of like shakes it out and like stretches it. Shard, unmoved by any noise, is just out for the count.
As you are lounging in bed with your comatose cat, taking up at least a third of your bed, at least minimum, you get a knocking on your door.
Shard does not move, obviously. But when my friend the mole visits, he doesn't usually knock, so I will go over to the door, and I think Lace is just in like whatever she slept in, like probably pajama pants and a tank top, basing this on my real life.
Mood.
And it's just like her hair has not been, it's just like in a messy bun, again basing this on my real life. And is like doesn't even bother to like clear her throat or anything, and just goes, yeah.
As you open the door, you see a familiar face. You see very short Southeast Asian Indian woman with short, like bob cut black hair and a red streak in her hair. Your friend Short Ray. W-R-A-Y. Because I have to differentiate.
Oh, that's right. I forgot we had to differentiate. That's right. Short Ray with a W. Yes.
And an A.
And an A.
Your friend Ray is standing on your front doorstep, looking a little antsy.
What's up?
Good morning. Do you have time for a field trip this morning?
Like, how long of a field? Like, time for coffee field trip? Or, like, going...
I think you have time to get dressed and down a quick cup.
I'm wearing clothes. Fine. I think... Can I have... I don't think I have the magic to have a magic coffee maker, right? I just have to make my coffee by hand like a peasant.
If you had the aggregate of fire, I would have allowed it, but you don't.
Yeah, I didn't take it. I didn't take the aggregate of fire. Mistakes were made. So I think she just kind of grumpily presses the buttons on the coffee machine and then realizes that she forgot to put grounds in, and it's like, why does everything bad happen to me? And just like goes and puts the coffee in, and then she makes enough for two. I assume she knows how Ray takes coffee. And just kind of like shoves it. It's not like a presentation, it's just like here, and then just
She actually doesn't drink her coffee. She just kind of puts her mug right back on the table. Cool. Ready to walk and talk?
Fine. Shard, I'm leaving.
Ow.
Yeah. He's not gonna remember that later. It's fine.
No. Okay. Look, gotta walk fast. Try not to fall behind.
Why are we in such a hurry?
Because I don't know how long my boss can stay awake for.
Relatable. That's relatable.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
She starts marching like real fucking fast down the cliff, down towards Fartown.
I never took you for a power walker.
Yeah, well, remember the conversation we had a couple weeks ago?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in a rush because it has to do with Frankie.
Okay. Alright. At this, you see Lois make a concerted effort to wake up. I don't know that it's successful, but, like, the caffeine is starting to permeate.
And she's continuing to talk while she walks, and as she's walking and you're following behind, you notice she's not heading towards Fartown. she's heading towards the bleed. Fartown is located in a pocket dimension, and when you get close to the edge of the district, it kind of just like turns into this foggy, non-spatial mess. So, you know how I told you a couple weeks ago that my boss says we're going to stop trying to bring Frankie back?
Yeah.
He's a fucking liar. And he did it himself.
He brought him back, or he tried to bring him back?
He tried to bring Frankie back. They succeeded, and now Frankie's lying comatose in the Grey Hindasa headquarters. And I figured you want to see them.
I feel like you could have led with that, and I would have complained way less.
Okay. I didn't know how to bring it because I'm just... It's early for me too, okay? And I'm still kind of pissed at them that they basically were...
Why would they do that if they knew they didn't... But...
Oh, this is your despair, by the way.
Yeah. That makes sense. I deserve this. I've had too much joy in my life up until this point.
I don't know, but I'm really annoyed at them because this took a lot of magic, and I don't know how long Sister is going to be able to hold this.
Right. I'm just... this is all walk and talk.
Oh, yeah, this is all walk and talk. And as you're walking...
Sorting it up here.
And as you're walking and talking, like, you end up, like, covered by a lot of, like, blue fog, and you don't know where you're going, but it seems like Ray does.
Well, and I don't know Ray's boss, right? I've never met them.
No, I don't think you would have. Actually, evens are, someone roll me just a die and just say evens or odds. Evens, you've met them. Odds, you haven't.
Odds.
You got odds?
Oh, I didn't roll. Sorry.
I got a die. Evens,
I did roll an odd just now.
Okay, then
I knew it. I'm psychic.
Gena says no, you haven't.
Okay. Well, I think Lace's main concern is like, what is their reason to lie about this? Because Frankie is important to Lace, but she has no reason to believe that Frankie would be important enough to other people to like fuck it up, for lack of a better term.
And you did ask why, and Lace just kind of grumbles, mumbling something about fucking bleeding heart, boss of hers.
Okay. I mean, I think Lace is just trying to get there. She doesn't... She's concerned. Because if someone is without a piece of... Because to her knowledge, what is wrong with Frankie is that he is missing a piece, right? Do I know what that does? In the long term? Because I know that it was preventing him from being able to move, but how did they... Oh dear.
Yeah.
Problems.
As you two continue to make your way through the bleed, eventually, almost out of nowhere, emerging out of the mist, is this large, like, not large, not as big as William's place, but like a decent-sized house. And unceremoniously, not even knocking, Ray walks in, power walking towards, like, through hallways, a living room. You see a couple other miscellaneous people, all of who are giving Ray weird looks. Like, who the fuck is this person? Like, who is this? Why are they here? And she begins walking towards a back room. Okay. Frankie wanted to see you.
Isn't Frankie unconscious?
I misspoke. More like, not necessarily comatose. They've been sleeping a lot, but like in and out, you know?
Oh, this is great.
They wanted to see you. And I don't know how long my boss was able to hold him here, because it seems like whatever's happening, still trying to pull him back.
Okay, maybe Frankie knows where the thing is. Okay. This is fine.
All right. And she just kind of steps aside for you to walk in.
I walk it.
Yeah. When you walk into this room, it just looks like a normal bedroom. There is a just twin bed, which has your friend Frankie. Frankie, when you knew them back in Shadow, was this very good-looking Filipino man, mask-presenting figure. Light brown skin, short black hair, brown eyes, nice chiseled jawbone with a nice full sleeve tattoo. And on this bed, they look gaunt and tired. And there is a chunk of their body missing, of grainy crystals outlining the area that is just not there. And they're just under blankets, and there are small threads of magic in greens and reds and pale grays, weaving from them around their body to an individual sitting in a chair looking exhausted. They're just kind of like flopped down, like slid down the chair with a tan fedora just like over their face in a brown duster jacket.
So, before I have a conversation with Frankie, I want to see, because one of my aggregates, yes, yes, as a weaver, is infinity.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see, you're going to ask me again which quality I'm using, and I'm going to not have the thing open again. But I want to see if I can, that's in the way, right?
That is in the way. That is correct.
I want to see if I can do something to prolong, I guess, this person's energy. It was Summer, what they said. So Summer
Their
was
name
the
is
name
Cicero.
of the person. Cicero. Okay. Because I think I want to see if I can prolong the magic so that this conversation doesn't have to be quite as rushed.
Mm-hmm. So you want to prolong their energy, the magic.
I mean, their energy, I guess, would be the main thing, because it seems like it's draining them to hold it, right?
Correct.
So I want to use, for freedom, I want to use distance.
Mm-hmm.
And for infinity, I want to use duration. Or capacity. I guess capacity would really be the thing, right?
I'll tell you what. I'm not going to pull into actual level of effect from here. I will say, you can tell that the way this magic snakes and weaves around Frankie and themselves, this person is a weaver. If you want to just give them sorcery,
yeah,
I will allow you to do that.
Yeah.
What do you do to give them sorcery? And magic and energy and power?
I think that as I pass I assume I have to pass them to get to Frankie's bed in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's kind of like I think it looks like a coin flip. I like pull the magic out of myself and I like flip it and then flick it over to them, and it like absorbs into, I want to say it's the hat because I think that's the funniest image. It just like you just see the hat like move minutely. Like
what happens as you flip this coin of magic? They looked like they were asleep, but like he lifts his hands up and like catches it in his hand as you like throw magic at them.
Yeah, I think it's weirdly like tipping. Like it's just, just like, here you go.
And they look up and you can see that there's like a long braid like over their shoulder, very messy, very loose, like it hasn't been redone in days. And two eyes circular, made of mirrors. Almost, I'm thinking like
they're so
Coraline vibe-esque type of mirrors on their face. And they look very tired. And they just kind of tip their head at you.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Okay. I think you've got some
she
time.
turns her attention to Frank. She turns to Frankie at that point because that, like, she's just worried. She was just worried that this was gonna run out, and he would be like, "I have something important to tell you," and then just like, nope.
There is like a wooden chair next to Frankie's bed. If you want to sit down.
I will sit there.
And then, what do? They look tired. Their eyes are shut. Kind of like almost as if they're sleeping, but like exhausted. Bedside, like on your deathbed vibes, but like about to get pulled back instead of dying.
Right. Frankie.
Takes a minute. And one hand like reaches out and like grabs your hand, or at least looks to grab your hand if it's not already on the bed.
Yeah, I think it is. And she'll kind of adjust her hand to like hold it more comfortably.
And their eyes open. Hey, kid. How are you?
Better than you.
Glad you can make it.
Yeah. You should not be here, right? Like, I'm glad you're here, but it seems like it's not a long-term proposition at the moment.
Yeah. Head's a little muddled with the back and forth with the Reapers trying to bring me back and forth and getting pulled back. So.
Yeah. You're real fucked up.
Yeah. Just a little bit. And they kind of like look down at their chest.
Where is it?
I don't know. I was hoping you could tell me, kid. You ran off with it.
What now?
Yeah, like the first time when I came through, you came through first, and then they came for me afterwards, but I thought you had it.
Is he talking about when we went to Shadow? Or is he talking about the first time we came back, or when I came back from Shadow?
You came back first, they came back after. Like a couple days later, they got pulled. And then that's the problems that started happening.
You weren't there when I came back.
But I saw you when I got pulled back from Shadow.
Was it me or was it someone who looked like me?
They let go of your hand and like reach up and give your like bun a little squeeze. I recognize your little space buns everywhere.
Yeah, people can wear space buns, Frankie.
I think
I don't have a copyright on space buns.
And there's just like a weak little laugh and like, it was you. You broke in front of me, kid.
I don't remember that.
Well,
also, why would I do that?
I don't know, but I got hit with something. I broke.
Does this match the vision that I had?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I know that would like... Do I have any other memory gaps around that time? Or is this...
Nope. Well, this is a bigger mystery than I thought it was going to be.
I don't... Was it me? Or was it future me?
Or someone pretending to be you? I don't
Or
know.
someone pretending to be me? Or past me in a loop? Or do I have an evil twin?
Do you have an evil twin? I don't know about.
Probably more likely to be a good twin.
Yeah, you're the evil twin.
Yeah. Did I... I guess I was on this side, so we wouldn't be able to like date me from tattoos or anything. Like it wouldn't be like, oh, it was before I got this tattoo or I had more tattoos.
You look like you do now.
So what I should do is get another tattoo so that we break the loop. I've watched Star Trek. It's not in Star Trek.
Oh.
That's okay.
I'm glad to see you, even though this didn't go like how I thought it was going to.
Okay, it was I can't remember the name of the place off the top of my head, but I say it was near this place, right? Like they were my digital notes.
I think so. It was in the streets.
Fucked Up Plants.
Yeah. I saw something green and sharp and tearing through my skin's not the right word. Shards. It's the right way.
Evil plant.
I don't know. Can plants be evil?
Yes. Next question.
And then I cough a bit.
Okay, so it was me in the past. Did I come through there? Is that where I appeared, or do I just not remember this entirely?
Which part?
The vision that is quite possibly a memory or a future memory. Do I remember being in that place, or is this something that is?
It's a public
like,
area. It's you've walked that area many times, but not that.
Okay, so
not
I have
during-
been there. And I didn't come through there when I don't remember coming through there.
Not like in the vision, no.
So it's a separate time I came through.
They kind of pat your hand again. I'm gonna get back to sleep. And then they incline their head over at Cicero, the individual slumped in the chair. See how long that they can hold me here, and if I'm still here in a couple days, come visit again, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna go find future me and kick her ass.
Kick her ass a couple times for me.
Well, now only I could say bad things about future me. You're not allowed to say bad things about future me.
Too bad.
Okay, and I think she like gives his hand like a double, like it's like a pattern of squeeze. It's like a 1, 2, 3 or something like that. That like he would recognize as her. And then I think she gives Cicero like a nod and says, "I'm back. Don't fuck off until I come back."
They kind of give you like a weak salute. I'll try not to.
And then I think that Lace will go to Ray and we'll ask Ray, because Ray was there when I came through. I came through with Ray with a W the first time
Yes.
that I remember. And so I will ask her if she remembers this weird thing.
No? What are you talking about? We came through with a Hindasa agent. And then almost immediately went to the readjustment center.
Right, but someone who looks like me came through and stole the thing and felt really triumphant about it.
Listen, I don't know what's going on. I just wanted to bring you to see Frankie before they eventually got pulled that way again. Because I know
No, I
you're super
appreciate
worried.
it. It's just if I'm being an asshole in the future and or past, I would like to be aware of that. Like, if I'm an asshole, I want to be an asshole on purpose, you know?
If you're an asshole, I'll make sure to kick your ass regardless of when you're from.
I appreciate that. That's friendship. This is real spooky.
Well, while you're being spooked, I'm gonna start leading you back to Saturnine. They're not back to Fartown. We're still in Saturnine.
Hi, goodbye, weird people that don't like me.
They don't hate you. They're just confused why you're here. Some of these people saved
Well,
your ass.
They could join the club because I am also confused about why I'm here, and also there, and also somewhere else.
We'll go find one and ask them later. And then, she begins to bring you back through the bleed.
And I would like to go see who is my weirdest magic person. I feel like is Ray at the moment, but Ray with an R, is more physical magic as opposed to temporal magic. I do sort of feel like this is more of an Aspen thing.
Let's move to the next scene, and we can...
Yeah, I think Lace is sort of debating who to tell about this first, because Lace wants to tell a person first who is going to be, calm and reasonable about it. And Lace is not calm and reasonable about anything, ever.
All right. What we'll do is we are going to reconvene at Aspen's anyway.
Okay.
Because I'm just choosing
So I can tell everybody.
I'm just choosing someone's house out of my butt, basically. We're going to go around...
Aspen lives in your butt? That's a choice.
No, Aspen does not live in my butt.
Confirmed.
The next card I've played on the Indigo Sun is the Unwelcome Child. Value of 5, notions, cats, clocks, and wind. Bad lucks, imbalance, things undesired, outcast, duplicitousness. This is an apprentice card. So if you are an Ardent, you get a -1 to your venture. Sorry,
No.
Ardents, there's 3 of you.
That's rude. That's so many of us are Ardents.
Unwelcome Child is unwelcome because she is a horror. No one sees her for what she truly is, and they assume that the terrible things that happen around her have other causes. She maintains a facade of sweetness and love, exploiting our own inherent affection for children. She uses our desire to nurture against us. At best, once we have realized her nature, all we can really do is cast her out. Anything more would be wrong, for she is, after all, only a child. The Unwelcome Child is the apprentice of the Notions family and brings them joy. Aspen, do you want to describe your house as people begin to arrive?
I absolutely do, because I, Kian, am obsessed with my house. So you show up and we are at the false arch, which mirrors an actual active magical arch, but this one appears to have no properties. And floating in the center is a deep red door, and everybody would know you have to go and knock on the arch itself, and the door would lower itself. And you walk into sort of a small foyer, as Aspen would say. Kian is from the south, I would say foyer. But you walk into the foyer, and on the left is kind of a sitting room, and on the right is the dancing room. And I would guess everybody has probably been to my house before at one point or another, because Aspen does like to host. And so you would all know that in the dancing room, there is a record player, and it plays music constantly. And depending on who is in the room, it tries to play the music that it thinks you would like best. If it does not want you there, it will play the opposite of that. It never plays what Aspen wants to hear, but it tends to accommodate for guests. But I would definitely invite people over into the sitting room and kind of just, there's really nice chairs. It's darker inside than one might expect for Aspen's personality, but this is definitely kind of a mellowed out space.
If it's okay, Sophrona, no one bothers you today when you are getting ready to leave the house. It is so quick. There is the ghosts, your friends, are doing their own thing. Your teenage menace, Iva, nowhere to be seen.
Oh my goodness.
There's no suitors for Bruce. It's the perfect walk from your place to Aspen's, and you make it in record time.
Wild.
Good luck. It's great luck.
Amazing. It's like, does this ever happen? Is this just like first time in my life living here?
Not the first time, but it's far
Oh my
between.
goodness.
So I think you would be there first, just because of the turns of good luck that you're having.
So good. Hello.
Hello. While you are here, before everybody else, because I didn't get enough to share, Aspen would go and grab the cookies from William and give them to Sabrina and say, I think that you might enjoy these particularly.
Thank you.
Of course.
We'll nibble on one. I don't want to like scarf them all down before everybody gets here. Oh my goodness. All right. Hold on. I gotta look at all my notes now.
But yeah, the rest of you eventually filter in at Aspen's to eventually walk over to Alana's place for lunch. It's still a little early from the allotted time that she gave you.
I'm pulling up my notes as well. This is so a week has passed-ish, correct?
Ish, yes.
Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to my home. The dancing room currently is playing probably some like synth pop music that Aspen's not trying to club, but like the dancing room thinks that everybody should be clubbing right now.
So synth
hello.
pop. I have synth pop.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I will break my genre music to play some synth pop in the background.
You all walk into this very quiet space and there's just like a rave going on in the background. Hello everyone. How's everybody doing this last week or so?
Doing fantastic. Seems all of my neighbors have gotten, their lives together today. I don't know. Very, very judgmental on her part. Yeah, it's like, yeah, doing great. Oh, I don't even know where I'm going now.
I think Lace says, well, if it makes you feel better, I might be my own evil twin. And just leaves that there.
Ray has a cardboard box that he almost drops when Lace says that. And Ray is just like, okay, I have gifts for all of you. And he has 4 poorly potted plants. The pots are wonderful. Definitely stuff that Ray has made and like has weird, like esoteric ass beasts carved in, like reminiscent of, I would say, like Aztec art. Of just like, it's sharks. It's all sharks. It's all weird, different versions of sharks. There's like goblin sharks and hammerheads and a lemon shark that looks very derpy, even though it's like in corner.
Is one of them like the socks that you can buy that are like the shark is eating your foot, where it's just like the teeth go up the ankle? Like, it's like the shark is eating the plant.
Yes. I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
That was specifically for Lace now.
Okay. I love it.
because it's the only one that isn't like a regular pot, because that one, because the shark tail goes out, it has a perch for Shard.
Yes. I love it.
Sorry.
Mare,
Yes.
can you help me with what these flowers look like?
I was literally just about to pop it and say what these flowers look like. These flowers are very small, kind of like in like big bunches, very small, like white 5-petaled flowers. I'm thinking like smaller, they're tiny. I'm talking like maybe like a centimeter wide. And in the center are tinged a light violet purple color. And they're just really beautiful little bunches. And they're very poorly potted. So you would kind of be able to tell that these have a long root system.
Would I, as somebody who spends a lot of time at the botanical spiral, would I be able to know, like, is this like how mint, if you put it in a concrete pot, will eventually burrow through the concrete? Like, do I know? Like,
you've never seen these flowers, but it's a mint vibe. Once you get a little bit, it goes fucking everywhere.
So I know that if we leave these in here, this will destroy the pot.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
She's just how to tactfully bring this up.
Yeah, Ray's gonna pass them around while Sophrona vibes on.
Ray, this is absolutely lovely. Aspen takes one with a goblin shark because those are one of my favorite critters.
Yeah, Ray's like, my friend sort of helped me. Well, my friend said these were a gift, and they just started sprouting all over the bog, and so I wanted to share them with you. And I also have one for Dracera because they have a plant store.
Your friend?
Yeah, what friend?
Oh, it's well, I've never really talked about them. I've kind of talked about them before. Their name is the Songbird. And we can like communicate via dreams. Yeah.
So your friend sent us told you that this very aggressive plant, it will, but you might want to think we'd have to repot these. They burrow.
Oh, they didn't tell me anything about the plant. Just that they had given them as a gift. So they were just in the bog, and I figured that, Sophrona, since you like plants, I would make like a pot for them. But you're telling me this is not a good pot for them.
No, the pot is lovely. The pot is plant. The plant's a little aggressive.
No, yeah. I mean, isn't that good? It's a sturdy plant. That means that I can't kill it on accident.
You get like a yeah of agreement from Songbird on that. Helia is looking at the plants curiously.
My dear, and would very openly talk about Helia now that it's an open secret. My dear, have you seen this before? Do you know what this is?
Wait, did you tell everybody about Helia?
I didn't tell everyone about it, but I was very open about talking to Helia to check on them when we got out of the maze.
Sure. And
for Aspen, it's an open secret now.
It's like even
no clarification. But
sorry, what did you ask Helia?
Do you know what these are? Have you seen them before?
No, I've never seen them before. And you all just see Aspen talking to air.
Do you think that these are okay plants? It seems like Sophrona's getting a vibe, and I would like to know what you think.
Just because I'm a plant, I don't really know plants.
I would never suggest. You just seemed really curious, so
they're pretty.
I would turn back to Ray. Ray, do you know if these are poisonous?
Ray's gonna look directly at Sophrona.
Do I know if they're poisonous?
You've never seen these plants before.
I've never seen. It's like.
And then Ray looks at Lace when Sophrona doesn't answer. Or when Sophrona says she hasn't seen them before, Ray's gonna look at Lace because Ray doesn't know anything about plants.
I mean, do I know? I don't feel like I know anything about these plants. I'm just.
I think we should definitely.
Maybe we should take them to dinner and ask.
I was going to say the same thing.
And I will put them up above where Osmond might get to them, to where Helia could still see since she's very tall. But we're just gonna keep that out of the way.
I wouldn't recommend it near any dirts either. I don't know how fast growing they are.
Well, they weren't
Also-
there a week ago, and now they're fully grown all over the bog.
Oh.
All over the bog?
Yeah.
So what you've done is you've brought an invasive species of plants into the
What's an
homes
invasive
of-
species?
Oh dear.
Bruce's suitors are an invasive species.
Yeah,
But
it's
these are
like
plants.
Bruce's
These are pretty,
suitors,
and they
but
aren't
plants.
mean.
No,
But they kill the other plants. Like, remember that time that one of Bruce's suitors challenged the others to a death match? It didn't end up happening, but, you know.
All the bog
Wow.
plants are still in place.
Are they?
Are they?
Yeah, nothing else except new flowers in the bog so far.
We're gonna do an ecological survey later.
Little do you know that someone is doing an ecological survey as we speak.
Right, I was gonna say, isn't there a neighbor who has a lot of feelings about
You did
this?
see Trudy snooping around your bog as you left, Ray.
Oh, even Trudy was in love with these flowers. That's how I know they're good. Trudy
I
was
feel
looking
like-
all over the yard.
Lace knows that Trudy has never been in love with anything that Ray has done ever in her entire life. So this is the point at which she is unable to suspend disbelief further.
Gina, I love the way you laugh. It's very good. You're like warding off the laugh vapors.
Like I could get really loud, so we gotta do with that instead.
Very cute. Yeah, Ray's just like Ray, very simple man. He knows clay. He does not know plants. He's also not sure what he's reading off you guys, emotionally. But he's just like, yeah, I don't know what an invasive species is.
This is a beautiful gift, Ray. We're gonna probably have to ask about the plant implications from somebody who knows.
Okay.
Because we need to know how to care for them, right?
I mean, I just figured there was some weird magic. So that fine
probably
all the time.
Did anything happen before they appeared in your bog? Just everywhere.
I had a dream in which I talked to my friend. I'm teaching my friend how to disgorge their own creatures. And so as a gift, she gave me plants. And they popped up in the bog.
Did she disgorge the plants? Or is that a separate thing?
I'm pretty sure it's a separate thing.
Probably, Lace says with great doubt.
I mean, guys, I haven't talked about the songbird with many people, but they're like my oldest friend. When I was alone, when I came back from Shadow, they were like the only person who talked to me.
Yeah, I know they're super important to you. And this is a beautiful gift, but we're gonna need to find out more about it so we can make sure to care for the gift properly.
Yeah, I didn't doubt that. Sorry, Safrona?
No, because there's just so much going on here between Aspen talking to Thin Air. There's just no idea how to address that. All this stuff going on here. Would I happen, like, with this concept of a thing called a songbird that can make plants, does that sound like anything? No.
Nope.
That's even more worrisome
Yep.
than if I didn't know anything.
Yep.
The world is weird. Aspen's talking to nobody. I can speak to people in my dreams.
I am not speaking
That is
to
true.
nobody.
It
Who are you
looks
talking
like
to,
you're
Aspen?
speaking to nobody.
Well, similar to Ray, I have a friend. And I will actually describe Helia to Lace to try and get Lace to draw a picture. And sketch one out so that everybody can see what Helia looks like. So remember when we were in the lovely shop and there was just the tempting back room and I was very adamant on going back. Well, Helia had gone exploring and I needed to make sure that she was safe. So this is Helia, and I will gesture to Helia and then kind of look around and then grab the drawing
Helia kind of waves to everyone, even though you can't see anything. Hi.
She says hello. She's quite
hello.
lovely. She is very curious about a lot of things and has a lot of opinions about a lot of things, but thinks all of you are absolutely delightful.
I like
You-
Ray's animal creature thingies.
She loves your creatures, Ray.
I'll make Helia a gift.
Yeah. Yeah.
We would both love that.
And Helia has been here for
For forever.
well, it's very nice to formally meet you, Helia. Blaze says in completely the wrong direction for where Helia is standing.
Lots of plant friends.
So many
We've got
plants.
So
around
many
here.
plant friends today.
Well,
Also, as today seems to be the day of introducing people or concepts, I apparently am the villain of taking the shard from Frankie. They probably don't know, like, they've heard me mention a friend who is trapped in shadow. Probably, like, they know that there was someone in shadow. And I was like, apparently that was me, and I don't remember it, except I had a vision where I, like, did remember it. So anyway, that's my crisis for today. Anyway, let's go to dinner.
It's like, I'm having a great day. It's
I'm
Do you have any
having a good day
friends?
too, Sophrona.
Sophrona, do you have any friends you would like to introduce us to?
no.
Yeah.
I don't know. You got
Any,
a lot
like,
of friends.
long
You've got Michael. You've got Emery.
I do.
You've got Yasser.
I mean, it's like, yeah, I got lots of friends. Just I don't feel like any of them qualify for this weirdness.
Emery's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Um,
The songbird is just really nice, and they help me make friends, and they give me gifts like these plants. And yeah.
What other gifts have they given you? I'm just curious.
Oh, well, apparently they know some demon names.
Oh,
And so they gave me a pair of demons that I can summon when I get stronger, in the Goetic order.
is this a
This
would we know that like the name of a demon is significant?
Yeah, if you know a name of a specific entity, you can summon that specific entity. Otherwise, it's just random as fuck on what you get.
It's like, this sounds like a very uncommon way to acquire your demon names.
Well, otherwise you just study boring old books, or talk to like
Sure.
higher
Say
level
that to them.
Goeticas, which like sometimes the Goetics in the order aren't really nice.
It's
You
like,
know?
saying books
Sometimes
are boring
they get
to a
annoyed
book wizard.
that like you're in summoning instead of. Sorry, go ahead. I was too busy talking. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Jim, I
it's just
talked over
like
you.
saying books are boring to a book wizard.
hurtful.
Sophrona, it's really hard to read sometimes. They go boom, 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 and I don't understand why all the letters go everywhere.
Are
So,
your books exploding?
No, the letters explode and they move.
Okay. That makes more sense than
Yeah,
what I
it's
was
like-
envisioning.
It sounds like the first normal problem that you've had in this conversation.
I feel like people are being mean to me today. I brought
No.
a
Sorry.
gift.
No,
I am talking about how it's hard to read. My friend gave me a really nice name, and then sometimes if you want to learn demon names, you gotta talk to higher order Goetics. But sometimes
you
they
have
aren't
any-
nice about you doing clay stuff. And they're like, well, why don't you just become a maker? Because I want to make friends. You can't be a maker to make friends. You be a Goetic to make friends.
So
I can make plenty of
you're-
friends.
maybe
Really?
what do your Goetic friends think of your friend?
I don't have Goetic friends.
There's just like a really long, awkward silence.
Yeah.
What I'm imagining is us like physically walking, having like arguing, that just suddenly like in the middle of the street. That's what I'm imagining.
Before we had left, I would have left a note out and some candy for the unseen children, asking them if they know anything about Times in Roman. And to,
Times
like,
and
bring them up.
Roman. Okay, remind me about that later.
Ray, I I'm sorry, dear. I did not mean to come up across as cross in any way. Can I offer you some information in exchange that I think you might enjoy? Not related to this, but about your art.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a very dear friend named William who has quite impressive art collections. And if you would like, I would be happy to try and introduce you. You couldn't explore through his house. He is a bit paranoid, but I
With
would
good
love
reason.
for you to see some of his work.
He's paranoid with good reason.
Would William want to come to my art exhibit?
I will certainly make sure he is there.
Awesome.
Talking about that, I did learn that some very interesting people are coming to your art exhibit. Yeah. I learned from my friend Yasar that a bunch of people, I don't know how to pronounce any of these names. Since you said that you didn't have any Goetic friends, the new owner of the art gallery is a Goetic, and she is coming to your art gallery, like herself specifically, which I feel like you've kind of known, but it's nice to know to confirm, like good to confirm that she is coming. Adastria, is that how it is?
It's pronounced Adastrea.
Adastrea. I am so bad at pronouncing things.
Adastrea Chauncey.
Yes. Adastrea is coming herself with her like a second opinion or assistant K. But I think what's also very interesting is the artist who was showing at the ink blot when the previous owner was murdered is also coming. Titania Romulus is also coming to your exhibit. I don't know what this means, but very exciting, I think. I should probably send you later those names, but
I forgot Miss Chauncey was a Goetic.
So
You probably don't know her very well. She's very high society, likes to go to a bunch of parties, and she lives in the Marquis Quarter. She doesn't live in Fartown. And you know of her. She's a 5th degree Goetic.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
High level.
Yeah, so she is coming herself.
If that's
Ray,
okay. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Ray, like his shoulders bounce a little bit, and he looks a little excited. He's like, yeah, I don't know if I could make friends with someone so, like, and like he pulls in his like suspenders as if they're like a collar of a suit, and like walks like, it's just very stuffy.
And I should say, Adastrea is probably not somebody that you would get along with, Ray. I don't know anything about Titania. Perhaps worth getting to know them. But Adastrea is not exactly the best company.
Why?
A story for another time. We're nearly to Draceras.
Which is really weird because you've known her as like a decently pleasant person in the order, Ray. Like nothing like really bad has been said about her. So that's just odd.
Yeah.
Exciting.
I do have a question for everybody. Does anybody know anyone who specializes in like memory magic? Or temporal magic?
Minnie might have something weird that could access your memory. We could talk to Minnie.
That's true. We should do that.
I think they're setting up next weekend in front of my house. I think they're going bog fishing again.
Okay. Because it's just if I or future me or past me or someone who because there might be someone dressed again. Lace has not explained this in any way and is just like off on a tangent. But it's like if future me or past me or another me did something and I had a vision of it and I felt like the triumph of doing the thing, was it me?
I'll look into some things and see if there's something that I can do to help.
I can ask a bunch of folk, but it's the best I can do right now.
I barely understand how I can talk in my dreams or when I'm awake.
That's relatable, honestly.
And I think that's a good place to go to break as you reach Alana's home. And home is a strong word because the address she gave you where she lives is a place called Mrs. Nusselt's Toy Shop. And we'll be back after break where you have lunch/dinner with Alana and Drosera. Everybody, please rest, pet your pets, stretch, and we'll be back soon. Bye. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are back from break, and we are here with session 3 of Fraying Threads, an Invisible Sun campaign in the setting of Invisible Sun by Monica Games. We are about to have we decided if it's dinner or lunch? I don't have a preference.
I keep saying the word dinner, but it doesn't actually
Supper.
have to be dinner.
Yeah, it's like that.
Split the difference.
Okay. Supper, early dinner, not lunch. All right. We last left off with the 3 of you being brought to the address Alana gave you, which is a toy shop called Mrs. Nusselt's Toy Shop. And inside the front window, you can see toys, doll houses, you see dolls, and a variety of different children's toys.
Are we sure that this is where we're supposed to be? We know that Alana lived in a toy shop.
She never said anything. But
Is
she gave this address to you confidently.
It's like, is there like, what's it called? Like a, I don't remember the word. You know, like an apartment above it?
No.
Or like, no, just.
Nope.
I knock on the door.
It's a public
step.
store.
Oh, I guess
Go
it's
in.
still open. I keep thinking it's like dinner time, but I guess we just
It's
established
still
that
open.
it's
Definitely still open.
Just go-
Okay. I go in.
Go in.
We've walked into stranger places.
As you walk in, you see this really lovely, homey shop. You see a lot of porcelain dolls. As you open, it looks like a couple dolls on the shelf were huddled to like porcelain white and other like easily breakable material dolls were like talking together and having a hushed conversation. You see stuffed animals laying about. One is walking on the counter. And as you enter on this, where the register is, you see a small dog-sized cat? Question mark? It looks like a hairless cat with large ears and 8 eyes. Its tail is long and eventually turns into like a centipede. And looking at it a bit more, you see their hands and feet are very human-esque.
I point this out. If Ray hasn't commented on this yet, I point this out because I feel like this is Ray's jam.
And she is staring at you as you enter, all 8 eyes giving you the up and down, very judgmental look.
Hello.
Hello. You must be Alana's guests.
I'm going to start edging around in a circle. Do all of the eyes follow me, or is it just like a couple of them?
She seems to be looking at everyone at once.
Oh. Aspen makes that noise.
Victor, the player, not happy. Ray, the character, excitedly walking up. It's just like, have you ever had anyone make some like art of your likeness?
She looks at you up and down, and like you get the vague sense that she's smiling, like a small quirk of a smile. No.
Well, you are fascinating. gorgeous, wonderful. Your form inspires so much. And like Ray, is this okay?
Yeah.
This is good.
all
This
right.
is good.
All right, perfect. And Ray takes out like a little, it's kind of rough. It's definitely it's a type of little statuette that you use to sort of mock up a much bigger piece, right? And it is it's without with it's like a beetle shark, right? Um and like Ray it has like little crystal orbs for like the big eyes, and like has like its wings, like its outer shell lifted where there's like a little shark fin, and then the wings like almost in motion, and then of course the little shark tail.
Of course.
And Ray's like, this is one of my pieces, and if you would ever like if you would like, I am doing an art show in a couple weeks, and if you'd like, I would like to have you as a guest. I can mock up something for you to be included in the gallery if you like, because this is you. Wow.
She looks at you again, Ray, and then looks at everyone else, Aspen, Lace, and Sophrona, and she's just like, to the three of you, take notes on politeness and flattery.
I'm looking to see if I could see Alana or Drosara anywhere.
You do not see... You do see Alana, actually. Couple row... like a row or two over, you see this really nice wooden Victorian-style dollhouse. And you see Alana, tiny, a couple inches tall, sitting on a chair on the porch. And when you catch her attention, she waves to you.
I wave back. So, like, that's what I'm doing while I'm being lectured on politeness. Not paying attention.
Alana has been waiting for you. And then she says to the group, and she addresses you again, Ray. What was your name, dear?
Oh, my name is Ray.
Well, Ray, I would be honored to come to your gallery. Alana has been waiting for you. And with her tail, centipede tail, points over to the dollhouse. The rest of you, don't forget to take yourself out when the visit is over.
Do you think we're like moving in?
Have a lovely visit. Please don't overstay your welcome. And she like hops off the counter and like goes to do a job.
I think Lace looks at Sophrona to like verify that her outrage is warranted.
So, like, literally not trying not to say this out loud because I don't know how good her hearing here is. So it's just like I shuffle everybody toward the dollhouse that I spotted. That's my dice.
Hello, Alana says up to all of you. Just walk in. That's the best way I can describe it. And she kind of like steps aside and like holds open this tiny like couple inch tall dollhouse door for the four of you.
So we're just gonna like purposefully walk toward the door, very purposefully.
Very purposefully, you find yourself almost transposed into the front entryway of Alana's home. Ooh. And the rest of you see, all of a sudden you blink and Sophrona's also a couple inches tall.
Well, this is delightful, and I will follow.
It's like, I'm not looking back out of fear that if I hesitate, this is not going to work. Straight in.
If you look back, you grow the right size, of course.
I don't know how it works. Maybe.
Magic. I don't know how it works.
Magic.
Yeah. Ray would motion for Lace to go before him.
I will, yeah. I'm just like slightly like discombobulated from the rude creature that was just talking to me.
That is a wrong cat.
Well, and I live with Shard, who is an incorrect cat much of the time, but not a wrong cat.
Is that like actually what it's called? Is
Yes.
a wrong cat?
I have a photo, but I haven't posted it yet because there are spiders involved.
I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
That's amazing.
no thanks.
They're not super visible in the art unless you look really closely, but they're there.
Gross.
I'll post it later and you can look at your own risk.
As long as it's spoilered, I will just not look.
It will be spoiled.
Appreciate it. But yeah, Ray's like, the cat wasn't. Did we get the name? Oh.
We got steamrollered. That's why.
Yeah.
I don't think this cat
Ray
wants
starts
us to
to
know.
Ray starts to say, he's like, oh, I forgot their name. I'll have to ask Alana so that way I can put the right name on the invitation.
Do Lace and Ray walk in?
Yes.
Yeah. Ray is worried about the box that he's carrying, but then just sort of like walks in with purpose and just hopes for the best with the box.
It works
And
great.
Lace will help if necessary, if it seems like it's going to be a problem.
It is not a problem. You all and all of your belongings that you are holding and carrying are ratioed the correct dimensions when you walk in.
Helia also?
Helia also.
Okay.
As you walk in, you are in this just front entryway, which automatically branches off to a small kitchen on the left and a living room on the right, where you see above a bookshelf the very large sword being like hung, like in as like displayed. There's a small hallway with 2 doors at the end, and Alana, whose hair is much shorter than it was when you saw her last. It seems to have been cut at the chin and is just hanging loose. And you see Drosera in the kitchen sitting at one of the chairs at the kitchen table. When the 4 of you enter, she closes the front door behind you. I hope my landlady wasn't too mean.
The cat is the landlady?
Yeah, that's Mrs. Nusselt. She's my landlady. She doesn't like a majority of my friends.
We are on that list. Except for Ray. Sounds like she thought Ray was lovely.
There are very few people that are on that list, so Ray, congratulations.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a piece after her. Like, just really, really amazing form. So much shadow, but so much uniqueness.
I don't think anyone has fawned over her like that, so I'm glad you don't have to experience her wrath. Come in, please make yourself at home. Dinner is almost done. Water, tea, coffee. I think I have a bottle of alcohol under the sink.
I'll have
We've
tea.
had- I've had a day. Alcohol would be perfect.
Oh, okay. Yeah, please, sit. And she just starts being in a flurry. She mixing food on the stove, starts putting on a pot of water, gets you a nice clear glass with ice and some kind of clear liquor for you. Thank you so much for coming. And Drosera, whose arm is partially grown back, it's like much smaller as it's growing out of the ripped part. So it's like maybe like if it was ripped off at the shoulder, it's probably about where the elbow would normally be now. Fingers are starting to grow back, but not yet. But they wave at you.
Let's see. Everything is coming in pretty nicely, it seems.
Yes, it's just gonna take some time. I figured we can talk over dinner. I know you had questions for me. I'm sorry for the long wait, but I had to figure out what I was doing with the shop and recovery and everything.
How are
It's-
things there at the shop?
It's gonna take a while to prune and set back up my back rooms, but just time and energy, really. Aspen, while you're here, Helia has that expression on her face like she did after you got home last week from Botanical Spiral. She's got like this starstruck posture.
And she told me that Dracera was a very strong mage, I believe. I'm going to look to Dracera and Alana. Is there anything here that might come alive and try to kill us?
Oh, no, Alana says as she brings out a couple more chairs because it's like a small kitchen. You're all kind of like huddled around a small table. It does not look like she's used to hosting this many people at once. And begins to put out rice and curry and some sides. It shouldn't. I think Mrs. Nussel has chased off all of the rats and the snoopy, nosy dolls.
Wonderful. And I'm going to pull out the drawing of Helia and show it to them and say, I have a dear friend here who is next to me, going to gesture to the air. And I think that they will want to partake in the conversation. And having a photo, I have learned from my friends, is helpful for a point of reference. So this is my friend.
Alana looks at it and just like takes it in. Dracera doesn't have eyes, but you can tell they are observing it closely and just kind of slowly nods. Alana sits down at the table with the rest of you. It's like, eat. Please let me know if you need anything. Do you want me to leave the five of you be?
I don't see why you can't stay.
And she looks at like Sophrona, who I think was doing a lot of the questions last session with regards to what she saw in her vision.
Whatever you're comfortable with. It's a lot of the same things that we were talking about in the shop. So, if I recall, she didn't remember. She didn't know anything about it. So it's like,
she didn't know anything. No, she didn't know.
Yeah. So it's if you don't, it's all the same thing. So
I'll stick around and just listen and observe. And if you need me for anything, I'll pop in.
yeah, feel free to.
I brought a gift.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Sophrona really wanted you guys to like take a look at it.
Yes, please.
So I have a friend who I speak to in my dreams sometimes, and they got me flowers. They started popping up at the bog, and Ray opens up. Ray had put the box down, opens up, brings out one of the pots, that has all the etched sharks in it, with the very poorly potted flowers. It's just like, it took some doing, but I took some from the bog. And I thought, because you had a plant shop, you might know more about the plants, and they're also pretty.
I always do this. I'm sorry, I forgot to pull the next card, or at least forgot to say the next card. So before I respond and go back to that, I've pulled on the Gray Sun, the Jackal, the Valley of Zero, Mysteries, Rats, Mirrors, and Stone. Meanings intimidation, power, ruthlessness, dark magic, and necromancy. This is a nemesis card. Everyone gets a -1 to their ventures. It is a -2 if you are a stoic. This intimidating fellow is a dreaded figure to be certain. The jackal represents everything non-sphere about Vizsla. Threatening displays of destructive power, dark soul-twisting spells, ruthless, unforgiving magic that taps into death, demons, and worse. Power for power's sake, he is a selfish, megalomaniacal figure willing to do whatever it takes to get what he wants. The jackal is the nemesis of the Mysteries family. Many believe, however, that he is a literal being and not just a symbol on a card. Some believe all the royalty cards show real, immortal beings. If he is real, he is some kind of diabolical figure that not only uses dark magic, but offers it to others willingly to use his methods. As you put the flowers in the pot down on the table, Alana looks at it curiously and mentions how they're pretty. Like, they're a very lovely flower, though it probably could do with a better pot and planting, which you're already aware of. It's just a small offhanded comment by Alana. But when you put these flowers down on the table, Drosera grows tense and does not say anything and stares at it. Where did you get these flowers?
They started growing in my bog after.
You need to burn them. And as you hear these words from Drosera's mouth, Songbird gets offended. Like, there's a muttering of words in your head. Be like, burn? I didn't do anything. Like, why would you ever want to burn something? That's mean.
Can I, because she says this, can I just automatically cast Lastra's Charm on myself? Because she said this, very negative reaction.
This was Drosera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Drosera says to burn, I will cast Lastra's Charm on myself. That makes me immune to hexes until the sun next rises or sets. I don't know if this is useful. It's just
Sure.
I don't like the vibes. So I am making myself immune to any hexes right now. Very bad.
Do you keep or let the spell go?
I'm gonna keep this one.
Okay.
No, I'll let it go because it stays until next time. It doesn't deplete, so
okay. So
I'll let this go.
You do not spend the sorcery to keep it.
Yeah, I'm now immune to hexes until next sunrise. No, next sunset. Well, it's after sunset. No, this is supper.
We'll say it lasts till the next sunset, so like 24 hours.
Yeah. For like 8.
I think when Ray hears the offense, it plays out on Ray's face, which is not a common expression for his friends to see. And he sort of like pulls the plant back in towards his chest, and he's like, why? Why would you want to do that?
And Drosera has a glass of water. They're not eating, but they have a glass of water, and their free hand, which is not growing back, kind of just has like a couple of the fingers like dipped in the glass to suck up moisture. And they turn their attention back to you, Sophrona. You were asking about a green forest, a place where you saw me.
Yes.
And they point at that plant. That is a birth of a plant that destroyed that place, my home. You need to burn it.
Yeah, I did not get a good vibe from it. I got a very like mint vibe off of it, so I'm not.
Ray, in your head again, you hear the protests of Songbird saying a smattering of things, but it's all along the lines of, I've never seen this person in their entire life. They're a liar. How dare they slander me? I've never been out of the place I've been. I'm stuck, so I can't have destroyed whatever they're talking about. They're a liar. They are not a friend.
I think Ray stands. Like it is awkward because he's large. So like he stands up abruptly. The chair like flies back and then falls down and clatters. And he puts the plant down quickly into the box and picks up the box. And he's like, I don't know anything about that. My friend is not from here. My friend is stuck. And I've been trying to help my friend come here. So I don't know what you're talking about. This is making me uncomfortable. I'm gonna go home.
Your friend Songbird, right? Do you know who Songbird is, Drosera?
I don't.
Okay. Just making sure. I will say this out loud. Just things are escalating real fast. So just feel like we have to say all of the things out loud, getting real quick.
You get the impression that Drosera is inhaling and just letting out a long sigh and like not trying to immediately say something that will be based off emotions and a temper like they already have. I apologize. It looks very much like something that took away a lot of important things from me.
I'm sorry that I reacted poorly. That sounds very awful, and I would never want that. I would be upset if I saw something similar too. But this was a gift from my oldest friend, and I'm confused, and like it's very funny to see this like very I guess not funny, but for me it's a little funny to see this very large man sort of like shrink into himself, very like protectively like holding this box, and it's just like I don't understand, and I'm really sorry. I'm just
out of character, Victor, was this a gift for Alana or was it for Drosera?
It was for Drosera.
Okay.
Because they went through so much last time they saw them, and it's just like, this is a pretty plant. You're a pretty plant. It makes sense.
I appreciate the thought. I will unfortunately need to decline due to the emotional turmoil, if that's okay.
No, yes, of course. I'm not. You don't have to. You definitely don't have to take it. I could remove these from now. But if they look like those things, like I don't want to hurt anybody.
You are a very sincere individual, and I believe you.
But how do I make sure they're not the same thing?
Maybe I should start from the beginning, and they look over at you, Sophrona, again, since I'm assuming that's what you were here for in the first place.
Yes. I had a somewhat vision of wherever you were with the forest and the greenery, and I've been looking into these storms that we've been having lately. I assume you've seen them where the rain or the snow, depending on where you are, is falling and it's silhouetting a place that's not here. I believe it's silhouetting that forest that I had seen you in my vision. So I'm trying to get any understanding of why we're having these storms here. I believe they come from Lace. I gesture to Lace, has determined that they've come from the abstraction.
From the extraction is partially correct. I don't know much about the storms, but I can answer any questions you might have about the forest that you saw in your vision. I'm sure the four of you are familiar with half-worlds out in the abstraction.
Yes.
Little pockets of dimension that lead somewhere else. I am from one of those half-worlds. It was simply called the forest. We didn't have a specific name for it, though if the citizens here did, I am unsure. We've had our share of visitors. Well, they go quiet for a second. We had our fair share of visitors long, long ago, before the war. And they look at your box that you're holding protectively again, Ray. One day we had a visitor that grew and grew and sucked the life out of my home and my people. And then they gently take their shorter arm, which is still long enough to reach over to the table, and put a vine on the drawing of Helia. My people, such as this friend of yours. I don't know this individual specifically, but there were plants and trees of sentience.
Is Helia reacting in any particular way?
Helia got really quiet at the outbursts and has just had this very solemn, sad posture as there's been talking.
I'll ask Helia. Is there anything you want to ask her, dear? Ask them.
No. I don't remember it, but it's very sad. I feel very sad, and I don't know why.
All right.
As I understand it, Lysa determined, I don't know if you remember, that this was many centuries into the past?
Yeah, it was from the past. The not like outrageously far past, not like thousands of years, but I remember several hundred at least, right?
At
it
least
was
several
like-
hundred. I never came up with an exact number, but definitely over 700, I think.
Oh, okay. I just have many centuries.
Yeah, many centuries is fine.
I don't want to like ask this of Dracera, but do I know how old Dracera is? I
At
don't want to
least
ask
many
her.
centuries.
Oh, okay, okay.
If this
I don't.
happened, old.
Okay, I don't want to. It seems it's rude to ask people out there.
Based off
Yes, thank
context clues, it's old.
Okay. I'm sorry it's rude to ask, Aspen, but does Helia know how old they are? Just for context.
I am almost an adult.
okay. Okay, it's okay if you don't. We're all very bad at counting.
She just literally says, "I am almost an adult."
Yeah, it's like I don't hear that. So.
Old's enough, but doesn't quite recall
Okay.
this.
Just to help mentally organize a timeline here, because it seems it's happened a very, very big time scale here, as I understand it.
Yes.
To be clear, and this is just more of a clarification question than anything, this plant that Ray has given us that Dracera is saying destroyed the world, the half-world that they came from, is it the same one that I saw that we all saw in our visions, or is it different?
It doesn't look like it. What y'all saw were like vines and thorns, but
Sure.
these are flowers. Alana
know-
has been realizing the intensity of the situation and has just kind of been like cleaning up awkwardly.
I'm trying to like signal to her that it's like it's okay. Just
She signals back and it's like, "It's fine."
it's like we've all been that. Like I can't leave. It's like you can
That
leave.
awkward extra wheel.
It's like you can leave if you want.
She's not gonna leave. It's her own house.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, at some point you all do see a cat like lounging in the living room, and it's cat shaped. It's like blackish with white spots, but it kind of bends its head backwards and begins licking its back with the mouth behind its head, and several mouths yawn at once.
Just everything's just like cat shape. It's the closest to a cat we get in shape. A theory of a cat. I also saw. I'm just grasping here. I'm trying to understand, just organize everything. But it's like, I also saw this tree, a very specific tree, and I don't know if that's of any significance to any of these events at all.
No, it didn't have any significance to the event that was brought by the visitor, we'll say. That's just a very prominent landmark full of life and fueling the home, which... Sorry, yes.
Forgive me if you've asked this because I was trying to adjust my notes to be correct. But the visitor who came, do you remember anything about them?
I did not meet with them when they first arrived. They were greeted and taken in by our king. And things quickly got out of hand when they realized that it was not as safe as it seemed.
I don't want to be crass or inconsiderate. What happens when a half-world dies?
I don't know. Those of us who were able to leave, the king, myself, like 100 of the people left included, we haven't been there since. Though,
but it's still there. There's something to visit.
None of us have gone back to check. The abstraction does wear everything down eventually, but it takes time, so it could still be there, or it could be whisked away into emptiness.
Would I know, just like, would Aspen know, like, to get to something in the abstraction, would you need, like, directions, or, like, how would you get to something out there?
Why don't you roll me an intelligence check?
Aw, nuts.
You have a -1 to your venture.
Ah, nuts.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Do you want to use an intelligence, Bene?
Let me see.
If you have anything due to local knowledge or history or anything like that, you may apply it.
I don't think I have any of that.
I don't think you do either.
I will use a Bene, though.
All right, so it cancels out your flat rolling.
Ah, nuts. That's a 1.
Yeah,
I'm
you're not
really
sure.
Okay.
Do you know of anybody who would be interested in this besides us or your people?
This as in what part?
So I'm like,
The plant aspect, the half-world aspect.
say the half.
Sorry, yes, Lace?
Yes, you go.
I may actually, not the half-world, but the plant thing, I may know someone.
Do you mind if I... Sophrona explained with the visions and the storms, but do you mind if I ask why? You're curious? We're looking into this?
It's, for me, it's just a curiosity. I'm just interested. I mean, I'd say my order's maybe fatally interested in these sorts of things. If there's a weird question, it's good to get it on the books what it is. So it's professional interest, I guess you can say. Curiosity for curiosity's sake. Which
Alana gives you a look over, like, Drosera's shoulder. Like, you spend a lot of time at the plant shop. You're not fooling me.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not being entirely forthcoming.
Yeah.
That's what I say, though.
I think Ray would pipe up and be like, well, now I'm just curious because I don't want to hurt anybody. I mean, if it's accessible, but no one's gone back, maybe I can go back. I can go look for you. I have already made you upset. So almost like a sorry. I can go look and I can be like, compare my plant to that plant and be like, look, they're not the same because my friend is really nice and wouldn't give me a weird plant that would ruin the world.
Maybe your friend doesn't know, right? That it's something.
Well, even then, if I compare the plant and it's the same plant, then I can be like, friend, do you know we have to be careful? But like, this plant makes my friend feel good and like makes them feel stable. So I don't know. And again, this very large man squishing themselves down, really small and like anxious, he's usually just very slow and talking, like really calm. So like his anxiety is like palpable. But like he's like he's like, I can go look and then I can tell you what it looks like now.
Aspen goes, and if Ray is amenable to it, places a hand on Ray's shoulder and says, I don't think that anybody here, and glares at Dracera, is accusing your friend of trying to kill a world. But I think it's a lovely idea, Ray, for us to... I would be happy to join you if you'll have me to go and see and get more information about this. Perhaps it would help your friend to understand where these flowers come from.
I think Lace definitely exchanges a look with Sophrona on the nobody is accusing your friend of trying it.
Yeah, it's like
we've got the party divided.
Like I said, we're escalating fast.
Lace doesn't think that Ray is doing purposely anything, but Lace thinks that Ray might be being lied to in some way. They're taking advantage of his generous nature, is I think what she fears.
You get the impression that Dracera sighs again, and they put their fingers back in the cup of water. I have not been there since we fled. The king has been back since we fled, though. I don't know how recently, but perhaps you can talk to the king, and perhaps they can give you guidance on direction if you are so adamant about checking yourselves.
I mean, at this point, seems like the best option since some of us are so keen to go.
I mean, I was just offering it as a possibility, and like Aspen can feel like that shoulder tense, and like Ray is just so anxious because he is simple, but he's not stupid.
Yeah,
he can tell that Dracera is upset, right? He can read that Alana is uncomfortable. He's feeling something like maybe Sophrona and Lace think he's stupid. And by the way, like if that's okay. And Aspen is like trying to calm him down, but he's just like can you guys please ask Dracera later about where maybe I can talk to the king. I think I have to go. I think I just have to go. I have to leave. And I think he's stumbling backwards and is just like I have to go.
Do you want someone to walk you home?
I'm okay.
Can you remind me? Let me see.
Of?
How would going home be within long range? I would like to ask Helia to accompany Ray.
Farther than long range.
Okay. Ray, is it all right if I stop by after? I would love to talk to you more about William and perhaps find a time that you two could meet.
I don't know. We live in the same neighborhood. If it's not okay, I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. Be safe, dear, please.
And I think he stumbles back one more time. He turns around and marches out very quickly.
When you
wait, sorry. Before he does, he looks directly at Aspen, and is like, no one has done anything wrong here. No one's done anything wrong. Don't be mean to people. Okay?
Well, I'll try my best.
All right. And then Ray sort of does like a little wave, I think, at everyone else. And like a very fake, putting on a brave face smile, turns around and bolts.
Poor Ray. That ended terribly.
It certainly did. And Aspen is very much stepped back from the conversation.
I certainly did not mean to upset your friend, just as they did not mean to upset me. I hope that you three and your friend Ray figure out what's going on and uncover all the mysteries of whatever you have yourselves up in.
It's certainly getting to be a whole thing. I ask if anybody else would seem interested because Aspen and I had gone to the Malvoge Library, is that how it's said? And to do some preliminary research on half-worlds before we had gotten here, and all of the books that would have been relevant to our interests were missing.
Alana pipes in, very confused sounding. The Malavich Library, you're not supposed to take books out of.
Yeah, this is exactly it. So I have now a great concern between that and the news that your half-world has been destroyed, taken over, something terrible has befallen it, and we can't, all of these books have become missing, so I don't know, I don't think, hold on, that's above table. I know you had asked the unseen children if they had seen anything, and they had not.
They have not gotten back to you yet.
Yeah, they have not gotten
back.
back. So suddenly, who has taken these books seems suddenly of like urgent importance. So if you have any ideas of maybe even just a vague group of who might be interested in looking into this or even covering it up.
Well,
if you don't, that's also fine. But
Drosera shakes their head slowly. Our half-world was never a secret, just not well known. And it's been gone for a very long time, so I don't know why people would be interested in it, but I can keep an ear out. That's all I can do. And potentially reach out to the king for you. See if they'd be willing to guide you.
I think that'd be best. It's gotten all very dire and very, very quickly.
It was never a pleasant subject to start with, so.
I'm sorry if we have brought up things that you would rather have left in the past.
Time goes and grows onward forever, but it's not forgotten, so it is what it is.
Are there any stories of your home that you might like to share? I think Helia would be very interested in them.
They nod a little bit, and the rest of the evening, unless you have any other questions before I describe what they describe, they talk about a prominent festival of rebirth and growth where basically they do tell you that a lot of the people have very short lifespans based off of whether the flower they're based on. So if they're a perennial, an annual, so on and so forth. So annuals will have a very short lifespan. They go over the course of a year, and it's a cycle of bringing new children into the world, and it's like a celebration of life and along that line. Based off that description, Helia is a single year lifespan type of flower.
It's so does this mean that I would already know that Helia is an exemption because she's been around for so long?
You don't know what she is by all accounts and purposes. She should have already wilted and gone back to the earth.
Okay. Does she seem like comforted or like engaged with the story?
She's interested and she likes listening to it. Does not seem disturbed by the fact that she should probably be gone by now.
Okay. Sounds about right.
Alana also brings out like a small cake for dessert.
Thank you.
Towards the end of the night, Sarah looks at the three of you. If you have any questions, I'll be here for another week or two, and then I'll be back at the shop.
Noted.
I'll leave.
Savrona's gotten very grave, by the way. It's just very...
I'll leave word with Alana if anything changes, and she can reach out to you. Is there anything else you would like to discuss? As you're getting up to leave, Lace and Aspen, as you're walking out the door, Drosera looks at you, Safrona, and is like, do you have a moment before you leave?
Sure, of course.
It'll be 2 seconds, they say to Lace and Aspen.
So when the other two are out of your head, it's like, I am really planning to...
I will glance at Helia. I won't say anything, but I will just glance at her, and if Helia decides to go, I won't stop her.
You can have her do stuff with your first level Forte ability.
I think that I won't tell her to go do it. I'll just say, if you want to explore, please do so carefully and make sure you can come back to me, and I will follow Liz out.
She's always nosy. Let's spend the sorcery because she'll do it. And mechanically, if you want to hear about it later, she will tell you.
Okay.
Drosera helping Alana put some of the dishes away. I don't know if this means anything, but the day we fled, there was a thunderstorm.
I think that might mean something. If it's of any comfort, I plan to alert Ray's neighbors about what you've said about these plants.
Thank you. The more knowledge you have, the more you can prepare for. And I can only hope that I'm wrong.
You can always hope for a lot of things, but unfortunately, I worry this might not be something that can only happen to half-worlds.
At least,
thank you.
At least every plant isn't safe, you know?
Yeah. Thank you very much, and for letting me know about this thunderstorm.
You're welcome. Lace, Aspen, and Safrona, as you leave, you get a hard stare from Mrs. Nusselt.
So what else is new?
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Feel like you'd prefer if it did.
Yes.
Your customer service is unparalleled.
And you leave. You got a nice goodbye, Ray, when you left.
Okay.
Okay. We have about 20 minutes left. Are there any conversations people want to have before we end?
I would try and stop by Ray's place. I'm sorry, Gilly, I didn't
Go
mean to
for
cut
it.
you off.
No. I think that it makes more sense to do that than it does to do my thing. Because I have a Weaver contact to talk to, but I think that may be a longer term, like, group activity. So I think it makes more sense to do that first.
When Aspen comes by Rave's home, there I think there's flowers all over the bog. And you can see almost like I think there's a concentration of it, right? Like very close to the building. Like sinking into the bog, you can see that the most flowers are like really close to Ray's home. And there have been some freshly replanted flowers, like 5 in a row in the yard, and like the clay pots left next to the door, to like freshly washed to dry. And you hear like stuff moving around inside the house.
If Helia seems unnerved, I'll tell her that she can go home if she doesn't want to be around the
She
flowers.
does not seem unnerved. She did grow somber at the tales of when the homeland was destroyed. She felt really sad, but she doesn't understand why. Perked up when they were talking about other things that did not involve the destruction of a world. And still, that always just that starstruck glint in their posture.
I will. Can I just? How do I get across the bog, Ray? Do I?
Oh, there's like a walkway right
Okay,
up to the house.
I wasn't sure if I had to swim, so I will walk up, and I will knock on the door.
There were like again the sounds of things moving around, and they stop, like dead quiet. And then there's heavy footfalls, and Ray sort of opens the door a little bit and looks out, and it's like a little tiny smile, not a fake one. It's like, "Hello, Aspen. I'm sorry for making a scene."
Aspen is kind of leaning against the door frame and just smiles. You didn't make a scene, dear heart. Can I come in?
It's kind of a mess. And Ray like steps back and opens the door the rest of the way. And Ray usually contains like his clay works to like a room that he calls his studio, but in preparation for this gallery, there is like clay mess everywhere. There is like several like molding tables, little spinny ones, forget what they're called, like haphazardly placed across the house. And like a couple you see glances of a couple like half made projects that are like being like kept misted by like weird little devices that Ray has. And it's just like there's not really a lot of space right now. But
I mean, for good reason. You seem quite busy preparing for the show.
Yeah. I'm excited. It's really interesting to get a chance like this. You know.
You know that it comes from a place of worry. It's just making sure new and strange things happen. I mean, we all had quite the confessions to make today. Sophrona has been pretty upfront since the beginning, but Lace and myself, we sort of came in hot with some new information, and so I think we're all just a little worried about each other.
Yeah, I mean, I think out of everyone, you might understand that if you're talking to someone that not everyone can see, they can be mean to you, or they can try and accuse you of being wrong, or
I certainly never made it a point to share Helia for that reason.
yeah.
Does this songbird, are you able to see them? Do they have a physical appearance?
Not really. I can hear them. And their voice is wonderful, which is why I call them songbird, because they don't know their own name.
And-
When I dream of vines, plants, which is what makes this so nerve-wracking now.
Well, they seem quite intelligent if they know the names of demons. That's pretty significant.
Yeah.
But they don't know anything about what happened with the forest?
No, they were really upset. They were calling Dracera a liar. And I don't know, Dracera seemed really upset too. And sometimes when people are like really upset, they don't think through everything or see all the options. They don't see the form in the clay.
It's certainly very true. Are you is the songbird here right now?
Yes and no. Like, I can hear them, I can talk to them. I can be like, Songbird, this is my friend Aspen. He is really kind and smart.
They like Aspen.
Sometimes a songbird can't talk to me, but I can feel what they feel. And they like you.
I'm very honored. Has the songbird ever come across the heart of a world before?
They don't know what that means. Ray, you
Both.
feel confusion.
Yeah, I don't. We both don't know what that is.
Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to come and clarify that I don't think you did anything wrong. And I think that the flowers are lovely. If a little intense, they did grow quite fast. But
No,
I think it was a lovely idea to bring Dracera again.
They seemed they were in a lot of pain after the store, and I just thought it would be nice. So, I don't know what that thing is, but like, I was gonna go to the library and look up what invasive species are. And I can maybe look up more stuff about a heart of the world, and maybe if I understand it a little more, Songbird might understand it, because maybe they know it as a different name.
I would be very grateful. I would also be grateful if you didn't mention that I was looking for that to anybody else.
Okay.
It brings up a lot of questions. I would also be very grateful, Ray, if you showed some caution around Adastrea when you do eventually meet her.
Mix Chauncey?
Yes.
Why?
She's taken something of mine that was quite important. And you see Aspen, there's just this quiet furiousness to them. It's a chilling, it's anger to the point of it being cold.
I think Ray picks up on that easily, and his brows furrow, and he looks almost vehement. And it's just like, if they're a thief, like, I can understand stealing to live and to survive, but from what I understand, she lives in the nice place.
She
If
does.
she's stealing from my friend, I don't want to work with her.
I don't want you to lose this opportunity. Just tread carefully around her.
I do art because I like it. I don't make a lot of orbs, but I survive.
I know, and people need to see the art. And in order to do that, you need to have an exhibit at the ink blot. So, just from one friend to another, be cautious around her. And yeah, just be careful about it.
I think Ray looks really grumpy. And Ray like crosses his arms. Okay, I'll be careful, but I don't like it.
Aspen walks over to one of the spinning things and tries to turn it on. Is this how this works? And just hands first, no form. It just wants to express interest in Ray's passion.
So the wheel, like you feel almost like a buzzing through it, right? But it's not turning. And Ray's like, "Oh, sit down." And just you see the pedal. You can step on it, and the wheel will turn. How hard you step on the pedal. If Aspen like slams her foot down, I think part of the clay goes flying and hits the wall. It's like a little lighter.
Oh. All right. And yeah, would follow Ray's instructions to just
I think that's a cool like fade out on like Ray trying to help Aspen learn like how to do a little bit of clay work.
Aspen wears very nice clothes and pottery is messy, so have fun with that.
Yes.
Yep.
Lace, what was it you were saying before this scene?
I am going to go see my weaver. Well, I'm going to go see the person that my weaver friend recommended to me because I don't believe that I have actually met the person that was.
You have not. That would be best as a potential group activity and will take longer than 10 minutes.
That was what I was thinking, which is like that's the next step for Lace, but it's kind of a longer term thing. And actually, I think that I'm glad that I waited until after the supper/dinner party to do that because I think we know more now about what would be asked.
Mm-hmm. Would you have mentioned this to anyone?
Sure. I mean, I said to the group that I think I know someone, and I think if Aspen and Sophrona and I left together, I don't think I would have had a chance to talk to Ray before they left, but I would tell on the way back, Aspen and Sophrona, that I had been inquiring with my Weaver order, and there is a person whose name I very much need to
Hector Winograd.
Yes.
Banging name.
And Hector is sort of a plant specialist of sorts.
In the Topiary District.
In the Topiary District, which I think I am not overly familiar with, but I sort of, like, don't know if either Aspen or Sophrona are familiar with.
I feel like I vaguely know about it.
The Topiary District is exactly what you think it is. Plants galore. It is up to any of y'all if you've been there before.
I definitely would have been there. 100%.
I think Aspen would have to show Helia.
Yeah, it's a very pretty district. Is there
And it is also, I would assume, I mean, I don't know if Hector is well known in circles, but I do know that they're a higher order weaver than I am.
I don't think I've given them an order. Hector.
From the Marquis Quarter, who's Botany. Okay.
Yes. I have not specified if they are a Vizsla or not, but they are an individual that works at a place called Olias's Greenery. It is the city's most well-known and successful plant nursery in the city. It's located in the Topiary District, and they have a very special interest in the historical catalog of plants in and around Saturnine.
Mm.
That is what your friend Arya was able to tell you during the downtime.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone
So-
knows about if this plant has ever showed up in Saturnine before, they would be the most likely person to do so.
Well, it's also now we have sort of two plant tracks because there's this plant and then there's the weird vines, which was originally what I was asking about. Now, me and myself, the player, think they are probably related, but Lace doesn't have any actual concrete proof of that except that everything is plants.
Everything is plants. Is there anything else anyone would like to do before we end tonight?
I do. I would have presumed that I would have picked up my potted plant from Aspen's at some point. Whenever when I get home, I'm going to spend my hour so that I could, memorize my spell for Eyes of the Overworld, which lets me see things that are hidden or obscured. I'm going to put my plants that Ray gave me into my bathtub. I am closing the drain. Okay, that's an important step here. I'm very afraid of this plant. Putting it in my bathtub.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to cast Eyes of the Overworld to see if there's anything that I can discern about this plant. Just as a precaution. For this round, I can clearly see anything that is invisible or obscured.
What level is the spell?
Level 2. Color indigo.
I need you to roll me a magic check, please.
Okay.
Please roll me your 2 die, your d10s. Let me know. Just make sure you check which one is your magic die and which one is not. And then let me know, please.
Okay, this first one's the magic die. That is a 5. The second one is the regular die. That is a 6.
So total 8. I think you would see this. Before I describe what you see, though, I do want to quickly... there's a reason why I'm doing it this way, but I want to just quickly say to you, Ray, I'm going to give you a despair for the session. Because after Aspen leaves and you go to do more clay stuff, in your clay reclaim pile, like where all the discards and offcuts are, it looks a little different because it changes color, but you see a bright blue handled shovel in your pile of clay. So you can have a despair for that.
Warned ya.
Trudy was nearby. Okay. And then, Sophrona, you cast your magic and you, like last time, exhale this sea foam and mist over your bathroom and over this plant that was given to you by Ray. It takes a minute as you are looking at these beautiful little white flowers bunching everywhere, with this nice little violet tinged on the inner petal. And these roots are long, and you see them kind of partially spilling out of the side of the pot. It looks like they've already gotten a little longer. But you see them continue to stretch into the air and somewhere far, far away, a spiritual essence reaching out, connecting itself to something.
I'll burn it. I'm burning this plant.
You can burn this plant.
Burn that.
No!
I'm not even taking it out of the pot. I'm just burning it in the pot.
In the
Like, that's it.
bathtub.
In the bathtub. Just all of it.
You can do that.
Safest place to burn a plant.
Anyway.
I'm sure there's nothing wrong with doing that.
Hi, everybody. That was session 3 of Fraying Threads. We're going to quickly go around, say, hey, who we are, where you can find us, and whether your character advanced their arc at all, as well as if you thought you're going to joy or despair. Who would like to go first?
I will go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a despair, which was like expected because I was told you will get a despair.
Oh, this is an additional despair. The first
I
one was
have 2 despair now.
the first one was a free despair on the house. So you get to
That's
decide whether
hurtful.
you get another one or not.
Swimming in it.
I don't think it's joy, so I think sort of by default it's despair.
Okay.
Like
that's
I
fair.
don't think that like the situation Lace believes is like unresolvable, but I think she's a little down about like Ray being upset and her not knowing how to like help.
That's
You also
fair.
got accused of stealing from your friend, the one thing that you're trying to look for to stabilize them.
Yeah, it's a rough day.
Bad day.
We're compartmentalizing big time right now, but still. Then I do think I progressed my arc, which means I get a thing, right?
You get an
I get
acumen.
an acumen.
Yes.
I'm gonna write that down. Because I have not been great at writing that down. And was there anything else that I have to say?
Tell us
I
who
don't
you
know.
are, where we can find you.
Who am I?
I am Gilly. Oh, look, it's Gilly on the internets. Gilly is with a G, like giraffe. It's like silly, but with a J sound. That's what I say to people. And you can find me on Twitter talking about many things, including the books that I'm reading. I just finished Legends of Lattes. It was very fun. I'm also back on my Pokemon Go bullshit, so that's exciting. Temporarily, probably. But anyway, you can find me there talking about all the things. That is where I announce things. So that is a good place to be. The end.
Popcorn it. Who's next?
Popcorn.
Hi.
Vic.
My name is Victor. I can be found at my Twitter on at Villain Vicencio. I have a name for my project, but I haven't confirmed it with my partner project. So please be on the lookout for my second round of playtests for my mech support team, Descended from the Queen game, for Ace Pilots. It's gonna be great. We have pushed the questions to be even saucier and more difficult, and it's gonna make you sad. I love it. And I think that Ray is super sad and is gonna get a second despair.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
buddy.
y'all were worried about having so many joys.
Listen. Yeah, so he's in Bummersville, and I think I'm not sure if Ray progressed anything towards his arc today. You know, like I don't think he's figured. In fact, I think he's like antithetically figured out. So, like he's gone back on his arc because now he's worried about summoning this thing, unless that is still progression. If side progression is horizontal progression,
Lateral movement.
is it? Yeah, it's lateral
Yeah,
movement. instead
I
of
will
moving
say
forward.
I say you can take an acumen.
All right, well there you go. And I'm gonna popcorn it to Gena because Gena's not muted.
It's like now that I don't have to push the talk, it's just I am Gena. I can be found on Twitter at _Genathan, like Jonathan, but with Gena. I'm trying to be more active there lately, so you will probably be finding me talking about I guess the WGA at this point. Very exciting things in screenwriting today. And maybe I don't know what I talk about these days. Crisis. Anyway, did I progress the
Yes.
arc?
Yes.
I'm gonna say yes. We found out a thing. We found out that there is a thunderstorm, and that is actually not totally random. I feel like I don't need to. Anyway, it is a despair because nothing happened. I mean, we started off great, no annoyances, and then we learned that there's these like invasive species, like the most invasive species plant that could. Terrible. This is awful. I had to burn something in my bathtub. I don't think that's a joyful thing at all. Like I feel like when you hit that, it's just very bummer session for all. I mean, for the characters, for us players, it's been great. Hitting it over to Aspen.
Hello. My name is Kian. You can find me on Twitter at uptight_Chiffon. I am hanging out over on Lost Caravan. We are in the middle of a Nova campaign, the TTRPG Nova. It's a lot of fun. I'm not sure when our next game is going to be, but I died in the last session, so definitely come check it out. It was a very emotional session. It was so good. And then starting April 8th, I believe, I will be in the Fabula Ultima campaign over on Lost Caravan. Super excited about that. I'm also playing a angsty-ish character there. And so today when I was playing Aspen, I definitely progressed my storyline, which I'm really excited about. I learned so many things. And I think Aspen took a joy because they were able to go and like comfort Vic and like learn all of these different things and talk to William. Even if they're ready to fight Dracera, I think overall it was a joy.
And hello, hi, my name is Mary. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. Right now, this is all I've got going on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern here on Sword and Key. I'm also on the Saturday night Horizons call game. We are not on this week, but instead we will be having a prequel episode at 6 p.m. Eastern time, where we will be having the final prequel episode of the main cast. So heck yeah, let's go. I think that is it, except for keep an eye on the channel. The Ryutama premiere is on Sunday, April 9th at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So it's great. I'm really excited to see what that mini campaign is all about. I think that's it. So
you have a casting call coming out soon, right?
We have a... Me?
Did I make that up? Yeah, I thought so. Maybe.
No, I had a casting call, but it closed a while back, so...
Oh, I just am confused.
It's okay.
About life.
It's okay.
Ignore me.
So yeah, everybody, we will see you next week. Have a lovely night, and we'll see you soon. Bye.